You know, on some days, I just try my best to relax. Just sit down and play a good game for a change, and then suddenly my mood gets soured by a past event that filled me with so much rage and frustration. And the culprit of my bad mood in this video's case is one of the recent laughingstocks in the gaming community, and those are game award shows. Yes, these things that were originally designed to fill every single one of us gamers with excitement as to what new releases are gonna get revealed, maybe stuff like new IPs, sequels or remakes, now just turned into the cure for insomnia. Now, as I'm sure we all should know at this point, Game Award ceremonies haven't really been getting the greatest track record in recent years, either because of them just being rushed, showing off shit that nobody really cares about, or them just trying to be all silly, wacky and goofy, but just leaves them standing in a room full of crickets. And after last night, I think I'm finally officially done with these kinds of award shows. Well, maybe a correction. Anything that has fucking Jeff Keighley at the forefront of everything. And the final nail in the coffin for me that cemented this decision of mine was yesterday's GamesCom Opening Night live. It was so bad, in fact, that I genuinely couldn't even sit to finish the entire event, and I had to finish stream because I was just that bored. And let me explain to you as to why that is. But before I get into my bitching, let me actually get the stuff out of the way that I actually am excited for that was revealed here. And much like this video itself, it's going to be pretty short. The new Sniper Elite, because doming Nazis in their nuts will never not be funny. Begone Beast, which looks like it'd be a blast with a bunch of friends. Nikoder Niku, because I want to see what the furries do to this guy, and if you say his name too fast, you'll get banished to a bridge. Inotria, the last song, because Souls-like. Ayla, because I really love survival horror games. Black Ops 6, because I can milk it for ad revenue. The new Dying Light game, where we get to once again play as Sonic the Hedgehog, where he's allowed to say fuck. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, because childhood bait, what can I say? Space Marine 2, because please give me something that reminds me of the good old-fashioned Xbox 360 days action games. Reanimal and Little Nightmares 3. Marvel Rivals, because of the same reasons I'm looking forward to Black Ops 6. Secret Level, a new Netflix series by Deadpool creator Tim Miller. Towerborn, and then that's where I stopped caring. Now let's get into a few of my problems as to why I gave up with these shows. Who the hell is in charge for recruiting hosts for these kinds of shows? The pre-show with Kyle Bossman had the dude seem like he was just as excited to be there as I was watching the show. The only saving grace to when it came down to salvaging some of my interest in continuing watching is that YouTube accidentally captioned Gamescom to Gamescocks.
Why does that... What? This is why YouTube shouldn't do live stream captions. Welcome to Gamecocks, everyone! Gamecocks!
But seriously, this pre-show went on for what felt like fucking ages, filled with unfunny puns, a host that looks like he's about to pass out from ODing on Xanax, and even during the main show, we don't even get the privilege to see our sweetie pie Jeff on stage for too long, because he then gets this other woman out on stage who does the exact same thing as Kyle Bossman. She does the unfunny puns and jokes after every single trailer.
Well, I think we can all agree on this fact. Fishing makes every video game better.
And she does the one thing that I absolutely roasted Jeff for during Summer Games Fest, where she goes out of her way to spoil every single game that was going to get revealed. For fuck's sake! Despite the fact that these hosts and hostesses present the show as well as a public speaking lesson during the first grade, the pacing of the show is also absolutely horrendous. They'll have one epic reveal with something like Borderlands 4 because they need to make all the cash back that the movie lost them. Then they'll go on an entire yapping spree with the devs of a certain game that we've already seen, by the way, and adds absolutely nothing to the event, like with Black Ops 6, Monster Hunter Wilds, and fucking everything that Hoyoverse has under its belt. I shit you not, MiHoYo got the favorite treatment during this show because it was represented 3 separate times. One time for Zenless Zone Zero, the acronym of which perfectly described my energy at this point during the show. The fact that Genshin was finally coming to Xbox because they're inclusive to all degenerates, and another one for Honkai Star Rail. I mean, come on, dude, what the fuck? Isn't this company big enough to the point where they can hold their own event? Why take up so much screen time where so many other games could have actually been represented? You know, maybe a good example of a recent game like Plucky Squire. That game looks fun as hell, and it's an indie game, and I'm pretty sure they'd appreciate the hell out of being able to be represented during a show like this. But nope, I think Jeff is hiding something. And another thing that really pissed me off are these interview segments that they do before some of the reveals, because holy shit, these already take ages in and of themselves, but when it comes to people yapping and yapping and yapping about games that we already know are coming out, it just drags the pace down of the entire show. The only time I would say that this was impactful in any way was when Tim Miller took to the stage to announce Secret Level. And the reason I say that this was impactful in any way is because he feels like he was the only guy that was super passionate about the project that he was making, because bro was in tears. And that gave me enough of a reason to believe that this was going to be something worth watching. Another thing about these shows that I really hate are the inconsistencies on what they show the viewers and how long they show it for. Motherfucker, they'll spend like what feels like the campaign length of an Assassin's Creed game for something like that Dune MMO, but they'll spend like 5 seconds showing off something like Space Marine 2. They'll spend hours showing you something like this versus this. I'm sure that'll keep the audiences watching. And even sometimes when watching something new like Masters of Albion with Peter Molyneux, the game looks like it can be fun and definitely something different for a change, but then you remember who worked on it, so it's obvious that this game is going to be overpromised and underdelivered, like 90% of the games he made. And yeah, sure, let's give one fucking massive spotlight to this game and its creator in comparison to other games and devs that could have done with the exposure. And even sometimes when they show us something that could look potentially fun, like the game based off of that one Mr. Beast video, it's a mobile game. What the hell? And after that, I literally just started dozing off to the point where I just decided, you know what, to hell with this. I'm ending stream because it was so damn boring. And from looking at what was shown off after I decided to end stream, it just ended off with a too long look at that new Indiana Jones game. Like, guys, come the fuck on. It's coming to Game Pass. I'm gonna get it day one. We know when it's coming out, so why spend so much time showing us this stuff when Xbox and Bethesda can show the shit off on their channels? And yeah, I think after Gamescom, I'm just done with these award shows, because man, if you bore me and everyone in my chat because I love streaming these kinds of events with everybody, and your event bored us all to the point where I just decided to end stream early, you know you genuinely fucked up. You show us games that we already know are coming out, you make unfunny jokes to try and give us a goof and a gaff and a giggle, but makes us more want to rather reach for the bleach, and you spoil almost every single game that everyone would have been damn excited to see, thus lessening the reveal's impact. You know what? Fuck these kinds of shows. I'll still be watching specific company stuff like a State of Play or Nintendo Direct, but hell, not even those turn out to be the greatest. When the best event this entire year was the Xbox showcase with Phil Spencer being at the forefront, then I just think it's time for Jeff to let somebody else take over the show from now on.